for the whole of the class so that you are able to cater for those devotees also. And those other devotees will see what we can. We also cater for them. So now I will help you to just recap where we stand for. And secondly, I will give you some questions. Some questions that Maharaj may give this question, or he may choose another set of questions. So we started with preface, text 1, text 2, text 3. So let me see the preface, what we did in the preface, and see what questions that may be up there you can note afterwards. So we saw in the preface about the goal of Krishna consciousness and how we must attain it. To how to reach perfection in Krishna consciousness must follow the instructions of Srila Prabhupada. The instruction of 6 Goswamis as revealed by the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. Okay. Then we have also 2 things that must be done for the devotee to make progress: the mind and the senses, as illustrated through the different texts that you will see. So, what questions that you may get? So this is one type of question that you can know, so that I understand you have to be a bit focused because you are having also an exam, and I can remind you that the exam will not be difficult. You just have to follow the text. You just follow this. First one, the Krishna consciousness movement is carried under whose supervision? Who can answer?
GBC. Hare Krishna.
Yes, but it is not from the preface. The answer should be from the preface. And the Krishna consciousness movement. Yes, yes.
Srila Rupa Goswami.
Good answer. Simple. Second question, when we do spiritual life, what would be our first duty? It is in the preface. I'm helping you. We are in the preface. The answers must come from the preface. What is our first duty in spiritual life? Look at your preface. You have your book in front of you. You have your text. Yes.
Control mind and senses.
Good. Voilà. Next question. On what is our advancement in Krishna consciousness depend? On what?
Attitude of the follower.
Yes, the attitude. Each of us, what is our attitude? What you expect in life? Next question. What is the meaning of Goswami? What is the meaning of Goswami?
Conqueror of the senses.
Opposite, mademoiselle?
Conqueror of the senses.
Yes, a Goswami means somebody who can control his senses. Hmm? It controls the who can control the senses. Hmm? So this is the definition. You see how the questions are. You got un aperçu maintenant. Don't worry. Don't worry. Let's see text one now. Text one. A brief controlling the six senses. So this verse, it will give a detail of our progress in spiritual life. Why it is important to control the mind, what is important to control the person, and a person who has been able to control the mind and the senses is called the Guru. So this is what we saw in text one, controlling the six urges. Now I can give you one or two questions based on this text. So when you have read there about Hanuman, about Lord Nityananda, you have read about this. So you are given here a question: how can anger be utilized in the Lord's service? How anger can be utilized in the Lord's service? Give examples from text one. So you will have to describe how Nityananda Prabhu, Nityananda, there are these in this. Nityananda Prabhu, then you have got also Hanuman, Hanuman, and also you will have to explain Arjuna, how he used the anger.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yes, sorry. Hanumanji, he utilized his anger to burn the kingdom of Ravan for
Yes.
Ramji.
Yes.
And then Arjun utilized his anger in the battlefield to work for Krishna. And Nityananda Prabhu, I forgot Prabhu.
Well, you forgot. This is in the text there. You will see. You will see one main. I gave you the. It is in paragraph 5 of your book. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became angry with the miscreant Jagai and Madai who blasphemed. Yes. Nitya who and struck Nityananda Prabhu. So Nityananda Prabhu asked Lord Chaitanya to be calm and don't reprimand his anger on Jagai and Madai. So therefore he became showing that the anger can be humble, can be humble. So this is the three examples. Next question, text one also. When you eat prasadam, why is it advisable to avoid palatable dishes? Why? So you will see in the text, you will have to read. They will cause attachment, may cause later to diseases. I see many devotees eating too much sweet, they develop diabetes. And you will see other reasons also when you read the text. And the last question from the list, I get, Text 1. What is meant by godas? What is meant by godas? You have in the text.
One who is
Anyone?
controlled by his senses.
Yes, he's controlled by this. He is the serf. He is the esclave de ses sens. Esclave de ses sens. So this is text 1. Preface text 1. A recap now on text 2. A text 2, recap on text 2, obstacle to devotional service. So, Mataji, who is controlling? There are two people entering in the waiting room. Can you do the admin, please?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. Text obstacle to devotional service. So, text 2 describes where in text 1 we have seen controlling the urges. In text 2, it describes the consequences of not controlling the mind and the senses. The consequences of not controlling the mind and the senses. Yes, therefore, by the choice of the conditioned soul, by his own choice, he falls into the material world. And in the material world, he suffers the demand of the senses, the body suffers because they are under the grip of material nature. So, therefore, text 2, it explains how to meet, how to counteract, how to face the demands of the body, so that you can foster spiritual progress rather than getting entangled in the material. This was text 2, obstacle to devotional service. So questions based on this. Text 2. Oh, I did this PowerPoint. Primary energies of the load. Primary energies of the load. Who knows? They send you.
Antaranga,
Yes.
Antaranga Shakti,
Yes.
internal potency.
Okay.
Tatha Shakti, marginal potency. Bahiranga Shakti, the external potency.
Okay. Yes. Meaning of Mahatma and Duratma. What is the difference between Mahatma and Duratma? Anyone? I give you help so that you are able to know what questions, how to answer the question, so that you don't be afraid about it. Anyone?
Those who are broad-minded, Mahatma.
Okay.
Duratma, cripple-minded.
Cripple-minded. Okay, when you write search a bit, add more a bit, two sentences, 3 sentences like this. Huh?
Okay.
Don't write again, just copy from the book, but make a search. So we explain also the meaning of Niyama Agraha and also the meaning of Niyama Agraha. You have to know this, where there is a dash above and one where there is no dash above. So this is a technical term, Niyama Agraha and Niyama agraha. So you will have to see, you will have to know following rules and regulation, whereas the other one is picking those rules and regulations which are suitable for you. You will read from them. Okay. And then last question from text 2, the three kinds of atyahari. So it is in text 2. You will have to search and so this is I'm helping you. How will be your work at the end of the book? You will be provided not necessarily with these kind of questions, but it could be this depending upon Maharaj what he says, and then you answer any question, any query. Yes, Prabhu Narayan. Yes, Narayan. Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Babuji. Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare
Yes,
Krishna,
Prabhu.
Devi Bhut. Just one quick clarification. So all our answers are, of course, obviously to be taken from the text we are studying, and apart from that, we expected like to give other than from the text, like realizations or quote other shastras, or is it specifically from the text that we are learning?
Good question. Good question. You see, it's good to have also a reference from other sastras also. This I recommend. But when Maharaj will come, he will tell you, he will make a revision with you. When he will give, what are the steps? When I finish with the book, he will send you a set of questions. You complete the question, he will correct the question. You will learn this question and answers. Then he will come again, revision. He will come again, revision. Now, when revision comes, you must, or whenever he answers the question, because he is the teacher who will correct, he is the one who will correct your scripts. It depends upon the examiner. So I prepare you for the broad base. It's good to have a broad base problem. This is when Mataji was asking, Mataji Bharati was just Mahatma, put a few words also. Not necessarily from the book, also correct a bit more. Does this answer your question, Prabhu?
Yes, I was just trying to be on the safe side because I don't know if I may write other things which I don't know if will be required for.
You will not be sanctioned for this, Prabhu. In spiritual life, no one is being sanctioned in spiritual life. You will never be sanctioned for this. Au contraire, on va vous donner plus de points parce que vous avez fait référence. C'est ça. Je vais vous montrer.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Any other difficulty? I try to make your life easy because I know that many of you have left books for a long time. You are householders, workers somewhere, but make it easy for you. Preface, text 1, text 2, text 3.
Yes, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes.
Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
I would like to thank you very much for this clarification because, yes, of course, it is a long time that I myself have been in course. So thank you very much for this clarification.
Okay, thank you. I hope this helps you in your study. So now we are going to study text 3, the principles that aid devotional service. That is Now, what I will do, I will give un survol du texte. Et puis, nous allons lire ensemble. OK? Alors, les principes qui nous aident dans la vie dévotionnelle. Il y en a 6 principes qui vont nous guider, vont nous aider dans notre progrès dans la voie dévotionnelle. Mais ce que nous allons voir dedans, Rupa Goswami va en discuter les détails de ces 6 vertus qui nous aident, qui sont favorables au Bhakti. So what are they? I will send you the PowerPoint. Don't worry. Hein? Il faut être enthousiaste dans la vie. Comme on dit entre le boulot. Et deuxième, endeavoring with confidence. Il faut avoir confiance dans le Seigneur. Il faut avoir confiance dans les enseignements de notre maître spirituel. Il faut avoir confiance dans l'écriture. Mais vous êtes en train de cette confiance, vous êtes en train de endeavor. Endeavor, vous faites l'effort. Troisième, il faut être patient. Certains ne sont pas patients, sont bien arrivés dans la conscience de Krishna et veulent devenir des gourous. Troisième. Quatrième, il faut agir dans les principes régulateurs. Alors, par exemple, faites notre prière, chantez le saint nom de Bhagwan, faites notre puja. Ça, ce sont les principes qu'il faut faire. Et puis, cinquième, quel type de fréquentation vous avez? Quel type de fréquentation vous avez following? Et sixième, following in the footsteps of previous acharya. C'est pourquoi, dans les temples, à travers Maurice, nous célébrons l'apparition ou la disparition des acharyas. Par exemple, hier, nous avions célébré Panchatattva, Srinivas Acharya, Srinivas Thakur. Nous avons célébré. Et comme ça, nous avons le Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Bhakti Siddhanta. Nous avons aussi la célébration. Lorsque nous célébrons, nous imbibons les valeurs qui sont transmises par les previous acharyas. Donc, these are 6 virtues that we have. Now, Bhakti is not sentimental. Is not sentimental. It is not an imaginary thing. It is not an imaginary. Bhakti, you have to cultivate. It's a process. Il prend le temps. Bhakti, il prend le temps. Vous êtes cultivé. Pareil, comment où une plante, si vous plantez, vous avez l'herbe qui peut pousser autour. Mais vous êtes des racines sablées. De la même façon, quand nous faisons Bhakti, nous besoin, pour les grandir, Bhakti a grandi, nous besoin arrêter nos bonnes associations. Nous besoin connaître qui nous peut manger, nous besoin connaître comment nous causer, nous besoin connaître comment nous behave. Donc, c'est une cultivation. Un alloy devotional service, c'est un service qui vous fait ou pas attacher. Un alloy veut dire ou détacher avec ça que vous pouvez faire. Ou pas motiver. Pas motiver, vous pouvez faire, beaucoup plus cher. Et si vous pouvez aller dans cette intention-là, commencez. Unmotivated. Vous pouvez vous faire Krishna, vous dites la masse-pain, et vous pouvez la moitié, vous pouvez dans la case. This is not the appropriate attitude. Devoid of fruitive karma. So therefore, again, expecting results. It is not, bhakti is not knowledge, impersonal knowledge, and it is not selfish desires. It's not selfish desire. What bhakti is, stops mundane activities and engages in meaningful devotional activities. So the 9 processes of bhakti, which you should know, you can know also the Sanskrit word, avanam, kirtanam, smaranam, padasevanam, archanam, vandanam, yasam, satyam, nirvanam. So for you to be able to practice this, you need a guru. You must approach a guru, the guidance of a guru to practice bhakti. So you must approach a spiritual master, surrender to him, and inquire submissively. You must inquire submissively. I've seen many new people come. They take the spiritual master as a fashion. The way they talk to them, the way they are not surrendering to the process. I know they are innocent, but you have to teach them. First one, you will read afterwards. Utsaha. You have to have enthusiasm whenever you practice bhakti. You practice bhakti with enthusiasm, you will see everything will go very fast. Your progress will be very fast. Dhairya. You should be patient. One should be always patient in bhakti, but patient to execute the Guru's instruction. The Guru's instruction with patience depends on 2 things: on the mercy of the Guru and Krishna for results. But you have seen the pastime of Yashoda Mai binding Krishna with the rope. What you see at the end, there are 2 fingers missing distance. So what does these 2 fingers distance represent? Can somebody tell me? You still, every year you practice Kartik, during Kartik we explain, where Krishna is being bound by Yashoda Mai, and we have the ropes which bind him to the motor, and cannot bind. There are 2 fingers missing. What does these 2 fingers represent?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
That what I've heard from in classes is that the 2 fingers. I think the first one is the determination of Yashoda Mai, and the second one is the effort that Krishna, that Yashoda Mai has taken the effort to bind Krishna, and Krishna gave his mercy to Yashoda Mai.
Okay. Anyone else who wants to intervene? Anyone on the platform? Are you still here? What are the fingers? Ali, tell me first one.
First, you have to devotee, second, Krishna was to be.
We don't listen. Repeat, Mataji.
The devotee should be pure in Krishna consciousness, and then second is, if Krishna wants, then you will be able, otherwise it is not permitted.
Okay. Anyone else?
Hare Krishna Babu. First, it's
Yes.
our effort, prayas, and
Yes.
second, it's the mercy, the kripa.
Yes. Thank you. So many of them who have got good answers. Whenever we do spiritual life, don't say we leave it only to Krishna, to the mercy, and then you sit down. You have to do your part of responsibility, then mercy will come. Otherwise, mercy will not come. Krishna will not, but you are not making an effort. What mercy Krishna will give you? The mercy will come only when where the devotee is making the effort. Just like Yashodamai was making the effort to catch Krishna. After so many struggles, Krishna then mercifully accepted to be tied. That doesn't mean that, hey, we have been able to tie the God. No. This is the special mercy shown to Yashodamai. So, patient, to be patient only after certain time of practice, then the mercy will come, and the results you will get, it is through how much you surrender to the process. Okay. There we are. 4. Tat karma activities favorable to bhakti. You must follow the instruction enthusiastically and strictly all principles that nourishes bhakti, like the 9 processes of bhakti. Ekadashi is coming on Tuesday, you follow. The Vrat, you follow. There are 2 aspects, prescriptions, vidhi. The vidhi, that is, you have to hearing of the classes. Very important that we hear classes, devotees hear classes, do recorded class, and our chanting important. The second aspect of tat karma, that is activities favorable to bhakti, we have to follow the prohibition. Prohibition, nisheda. So that is the 4 basic principles. These are the 4 reasons. So this is tat karma, activities which will favor the growth of bhakti. Second, sangha tyaga. Sangha tyaga, avoiding materialistic association. So in the undesirable association, we have non-devotees, atheists, opposite gender, womanizers, pseudo-religionists, karmis, jnanis, and yogis. So here you are, number 5. And number 6, satovritti. We have just explained previously, following the previous acharyas. So when we go in the class and we hear the class of Srinivas Thakur, for example, we adopt the good quality, behavior, and the virtuous qualities of the devotee. Ramchandra is coming. Many of us will do class, will hear class. So you adopt the qualities of Lord Ram. And finally, the ultimate path, the glories of bhakti that will be dealt in this chapter. The ultimate path, no fall down, no loss in bhakti. The success is guaranteed. The success is guaranteed. You can resume again. Once I got I was doing class in a prison at Bobasset. Prison, because the prisoner wrote a letter to Phoenix Temple. So they sent me there. He was a Cécillois, who was condemned for doing some crime for so many years. He has to stay in prison. So I explained to him the nectar of devotion and Bhagavad Gita, that this bhakti, you don't lose anything in it. if you have all at the temple to ask somebody to explain to you, so you just hear what we are going to explain to you. So what we did, we brought science of self-realization we are doing. I was doing also some back to Godhead. I gave him to read, and we gave also the Maha Mantra. We explained to him how to do this. So there is still can be done for saving the soul. Bhakti is causeless. There is no causeless. You cannot seize it because it goes on from generation to this. And Bhakti brings all good qualities. So this is un petit résumé de ce que nous allons voir dans texte 3. Allez-y. Qui veut lire le sanskrit et puis nous allons commencer. Anyone? Allez, vite, vite, vous autres.
I'll read.
Hare Krishna. Yes.
उत्साह निश्चया धैर्यात् तत्तत् कर्म प्रवर्तनात् संगत्यागात् सतो वृते तद्भिर्भक्ति प्रसिद्ध्यति. Translation. There are six principles favorable to the execution of pure devotional service: being enthusiastic, endeavoring with confidence, being patient, acting according to regulative principles such as Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, hearing, chanting, and remembering Krishna, abandoning the association of non-devotees, and following the footsteps of the previous acharyas. These six principles undoubtedly assure the complete success of pure devotional service. Devotional service is not a matter of sentimental speculation or imaginative ecstasy. Its substance is practical activity. Srila Rupa Goswami in his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.1.11 has defined devotional service as follows. Anyabhilashta shunyam jnana karmadhyana avritam anukulyena krishnanu shilanam bhaktir uttama. C.C. Madhya 19.167. Uttama Bhakti, or unalloyed devotion unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna, involves the rendering of devotional service in a way that is favorable to the Lord. This devotional service should be free from any extraneous motive and devoid of fruitive karma, impersonal dhyan, and all other selfish desires. Bhakti is a sort of cultivation. As soon as we say cultivation, we must refer to activity. Cultivation of spirituality does not mean sitting down idly for meditation, as some pseudo-yogis teach. Such idle meditation may be good for those who have no information of devotional service, and for this reason, it is sometimes recommended as a way to check distracting materialistic activities. Meditation means stopping all nonsensical activities, at least for the time being. Devotional service, however, not only puts an end to all nonsensical mundane activities, but also engages one in meaningful devotional activities. Srila Prahlad Maharaj recommends Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu, Smaranam Pada Sevanam, Archanam Vandanam Dasyam, Sakyam Atma Nivedanam. Srimad Bhagavatam 7.5.23. The 9 processes of devotional service are as follows: carrying the name and glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. 2. Chanting his glories. 3. Remembering the Lord. 4. Serving the Lord's feet. 5. Worshipping the deity. 6. Offering obeisances unto the Lord. 7. Acting as the Lord's servant. 8. Making friends with the Lord. 9. Surrendering oneself fully to the Lord. Shravanam, or hearing, is the first step in acquiring transcendental knowledge. One should not give oral reception to unauthorized persons, but should approach the proper person as recommended in the Bhagavad Gita 4.31. Tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadikshanti te jnanam jnaninas tadvadarshinaha. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized soul can impart knowledge unto you because he has seen the truth. It is further recommended in the Mundaka Upanishad that Vijnanartham Sagurum eva vigachet 1 to 12. To understand the transcendental science, one must approach a bona fide spiritual master. Thus, this method of submissively receiving transcendental confidential knowledge is not merely based on mental speculation. In this regard, Srila Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Rupa Goswami, Brahmananda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Jiva Guru Krishna Prasade Paya Bhakti Lata Bij. In the course of traversing the universal creation of Brahma, some fortunate soul may receive the seed of the Bhakti Lata, the creeper of devotional service. This is all by the grace of Guru and Krishna. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 19.151. The material world is a place of confinement for the living entities, who are by nature anandamai, pleasure-seeking. They actually want to be free from the confinement of this world of conditional happiness. But not knowing the process of liberation, they are bound to transmigrate from one species of life to another, and from one planet to another. In this way, the living entities are wandering throughout the material universe. When by good fortune one comes in contact with a pure devotee and hears from him patiently, one begins to follow the path of devotional service. Such an opportunity is offered to a person who is sincere. The International Society for Krishna Consciousness is giving such a chance to humanity at large. If by fortune one takes advantage of this opportunity to engage in devotional service, the path of liberation immediately opens.
Thank you, Prabhu.
One should accept this opportunity to return. One should accept this opportunity to return home, back to Godhead, very enthusiastically. Without enthusiasm, one cannot be successful. Even in the material world, one has to be very enthusiastic in his particular field of activity in order to become successful. A student, businessman, artist, or anyone else who wants success in his line must be enthusiastic. Similarly, one has to be very enthusiastic in devotional service. Enthusiasm means action, but action for whom? The answer is that one should always act for Krishna. Krishnarthe akhila cheshta, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. In all phases of life, one has to perform devotional activities under the direction of the spiritual master in order to attain perfection in Bhakti Yoga. It is not that one has to continue or narrow one's activities. Krishna is all-pervading. Therefore, nothing is independent of Krishna, as Krishna himself states in the Bhagavad Gita 9.4. Maya tatam idam sarvam jagat avyakta murtina matsthani sarva bhutani na chaham teshvavastitaha. By me, in my unmanifested form, this entire universe is pervaded. All beings are in me, but I am not in them. Under the direction of the bona fide spiritual master, one has to make everything favorable for Krishna's service. For example, at present, we are using this dictaphone. The materialistic who invented this machine intended it for businessmen or writers of mundane subject matters. He certainly never thought of using the dictaphone in God's service, but we are using this dictaphone to write Krishna conscious literature. Of course, the manufacture of the dictaphone is wholly within the energy of Krishna. All the parts of the instrument, including the electronic functions, are made from different combinations and interactions of the 5 basic types of material energy, namely Bhumi, Jal, Agni, Vayu, and Akash. The inventor used his brain to make this complicated machine, and his brain, as well as the ingredients, were supplied by Krishna. According to the statement of Krishna, Matsthani Sarva Bhutani, Bhagavad Gita 9.4, everything is dependent on my energy. Thus, the devotee can understand that since nothing is independent of Krishna's energy, everything should be dovetailed in his service. Endeavor executed with the intelligence in Krishna consciousness is called Utsaha. or enthusiasm. The devotees find the correct means by which everything can be utilized in the service of the Lord. Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe Yuktam Vairagyam Uchyate. The execution of devotional service is not a matter of idle meditation, but practical action in the foreground of spiritual life.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
There is
Thank you. So let's see for enthusiasm. So a lot of information. You should remain être enthousiaste dans la vie, non pas comme si mollo comme on avait dit. Hein? So, any question on enthusiasm? Any point that you have? Il faut être enthousiaste. Hein? Alors, l'enthousiasme dans Bhakti, et il faut, comme Prabhu vient de dire, il faut avoir l'enthousiasme pour exécuter avec notre intelligence. Hein? L'enthousiasme avec l'intelligence, de la conscience de Krishna. Prabhupada avait dit that this movement will progress with the intelligence of his devotees. Alors, donc, suivez bien les principes de Bhakti, hein, et exécutez tous les règlements de votre sadhana Bhakti. Et sûrement, vous aurez succès. Hein, vous aurez succès non pas spirituellement ou bien matériellement. Ici, on peut vous avoir. Hein. Même lorsque vous faites quelque chose, vous êtes en train de construire une maison. Là, il y a moi l'enthousiasme. La maman est en train de faire la cuisson. Il faut avoir l'enthousiasme de préparer pour la nourriture pour les enfants. Hein. Alors, donc, nous savons le but de la vie, c'est de retourner dans le royaume du Seigneur. Donc, il faut avoir cet l'enthousiasme pour retourner dans la main. Hein. Donc, pour ça, il faut suivre les règles, les rules and regulations. Et il vient d'expliquer Matstani Sarva Bhutani. Hein. Tout dépend de l'énergie de Krishna. Et un dévot, lui, il va se remettre dans le rayonnement de l'énergie supérieure du Seigneur. En faisant des services directs ou indirects. Et Prabhupada nous explique ici comment il est en train de servir quelque chose de matériel, comme le dictaphone, il est en train de servir. Oui, c'est une invention matérielle, mais il est en train de s'en servir pour le service, dans le service de Krishna, pour parler, de record, traduction, ainsi de suite. Donc, nous aussi, nous avons à être enthousiastes, non pas se plaindre, et dire il n'y a pas de facilité dans le temps, ou bien, non. Donc, faites quelque chose d'après votre capacité, où vous avez l'enthousiasme de le faire. Peu importe ce que les autres nous disent, mais vous avez l'enthousiasme. Vous avez des mots à ajouter là-dessus, des éclaircissements à me demander. S'il n'y a rien, on passe sur l'autre. Area patience. Qui veut dire? Ça continue un petit peu là. One should accept this opportunity to return home to God help very enthusiastically. Without enthusiasm, one cannot. Okay, sorry. Nous sommes arrivés au paragraphe 7. These activities must be executed with patience. One should not be impatient in Krishna consciousness. Indeed, this Krishna consciousness movement was started single-handedly avec les drogués. In the beginning, there was no response, but because it continued to exist, because we continue to execute our devotional service, regardez bien ce que Prabhupada écrit. Il ne dit pas because I continue to execute the devotional service. Vous voyez là, vous voyez le miséricorde de Srila Prabhupada, il dit oui, avec tous les dévots ensemble. Yes. Movement and how they are eagerly participating. One should not be impatient in discharging devotional service, but should take instruction from the spiritual master and Krishna. And execute them with patience, depending on the mercy of Guru and Krishna. The successful execution of Krishna consciousness activities both requires both patience and confidence. Alors, deux caractères que vous aurez besoin pour, dans la patience, nous avons besoin, soumettre, et vous allez avoir patience et avoir confiance. Et alors là, Prabhupada nous donne l'exemple. A newly married girl naturally expects offspring from her best husband. Doit avoir d'enfants. Expects. Confident that her child will develop and be born in due time. Similarly, in devotional service, surrender means that one has to become confident. The devotee thinks, Avasya Rakshibe Krishna. Je crois qu'il y a une question là-dessus. Oui. Texte. Oui. Vous avez expliqué qu'est-ce que veut dire Akvesha Rakshibe Krishna. Alors on donne la réponse. Krishna will surely protect me and give me help for successful execution of devotional. So this is what is meant by Avasya Rakshibe Krishna. Voilà. Krishna, voilà l'écran, vous avez là l'explication. Avasya Rakshibe Krishna. Krishna will surely protect me and give me help for the successful execution of devotion. So, confidence cannot be on self. We should keep confidence on Krishna and his few devotees. Only by their causeless mercy we can be saved from this lesson. So this is the meaning of this. Okay, we continue. This is called confidence. Alice, who can read paragraph 8 now? We'll start with another one. Tat karma activities favorable to bhakti. Anyone? On your book, as already explained.
As already explained, one should not be idle but should be very enthusiastic about executing the regulative principles. That karma pravartana. Neglect of the regulative principles will destroy devotional service. In this Krishna consciousness movement, there are four basic regulative principles: forbidding illicit sex, meat eating, gambling, and intoxication. A devotee must be very enthusiastic about following these principles. If he becomes slack in following any of them, his progress will certainly be checked. Srila Rupa Goswami therefore recommends that karma pravartanat, one must strictly follow the regulative principles of Vaidhi Bhakti. In addition to these four prohibitions, there are positive regulative principles, niyam, such as the daily chanting of 16 rounds on Japa Mala beads, These regulative activities must be faithfully performed with enthusiasm. This is called Tat Karma Pravartana or varied engagement in devotional service. Furthermore, in order
Wait, Mother. So you will get a question on this. Tat karma pravartana. So Mataji just explained, just read this, and you will get a question on this. Okay. Adesiman Mata. We come to Sangha Tyagana. Huh? So we come to the fifth one, avoiding materialistic association. Continue, Mataji.
Furthermore, in order to be successful in devotional service, one must give up the association of undesirable people. This includes karmis, jnanis, yogis, and other non-devotees. Once Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was asked by one of his householder devotees about the general principles of Vaishnavism as well as the general routine activities of the Vaishnava. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately replied, Asat Sanga Tyaga, a Vaishnava Achara. Characteristically, a Vaishnava is one who gives up the association of worldly people or non-devotees. Srila Narottama Das Thakur has therefore recommended Tandera Charana Sevi Bhakta Sane Vasha. One has to live in the company of pure devotees and execute the regulative principles laid down by the previous acharyas, the six Goswamis, namely Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatan Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, Sri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, and Sri Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. If one lives in the association of devotees, there is little chance of associating with non-devotees. The International Society for Krishna Consciousness is opening many centers just to invite people to live in the company of devotees and practice the regulative principles of spiritual life. Devotional service means transcendental activities. On the transcendental platform, there is no contamination by three modes of material nature. This is called Vishuddha Sattva, the platform of pure goodness or goodness free from contamination by the qualities of passion and ignorance. In this Krishna consciousness movement, we require everyone to rise early in the morning by 4 a.m. and attend Mangalarti or morning worship, then read Srimad Bhagavatam, perform kirtan, and so forth. Thus, we hold continuous activities in devotional service 24 hours daily. This is called Sato Vritti, or following in the footsteps of the previous acharyas who expertly filled every moment of time with Krishna conscious activities. If one strictly follows the advice given in this verse by Srila Rupa Goswami, namely being enthusiastic, being confident, being patient, giving up the association of unwanted persons, following the regulative principles, and remaining in the association of devotees, one is sure to advance in devotional service. In this regard, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur remarks that the cultivation of knowledge by philosophical speculation, the collection of mundane opulence by the advancement of fruitive activities, and the desire for yoga siddhis, material perfections, are all contrary to the principles of devotional service. One has to become thoroughly callous to such non-permanent activities and turn his intention instead to the regulative principles of devotional service. According to Bhagavad Gita 2.69, Ya Nisha Sarvabhutanam Tasyam Jagarti Samyami Yasyam Jagrati Bhutani Sa Nisha Paschyato Mune. What is night for all beings is the time of awakening for the self control, and the time of awakening for all beings is night for the introspective stage. Engagement in the devotional service of the Lord is the life and soul of the living entity. It is the desired goal and supreme perfection of human life. One has to become confident about this, and one also has to be confident that all activities other than devotional service, such as mental speculation, furtive work, or mystic endeavor, will never yield in any enduring benefit. Complete confidence in the path of devotional service will enable one to attain his desired goal, but attempting to follow other paths will only succeed in making one restless. In the seventh canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated, one must be firmly convinced that those who have given up devotional service to engage in severe austerities for other purposes are not purified in their minds, despite their advanced austerities, because they have no information of the transcendental loving service of the Lord. It is further stated in the seventh canto, although mental speculators and furtive actors may perform great austerities and penances, they still fall down because they do not have information about the lotus feet of the Lord. The devotees of the Lord, however, never fall down. In Bhagavad Gita 9.31, the Supreme Personality of Godhead assures Arjuna, Kaunteya Patijna hi name bhakta panansyati, O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotees never perishes. Again in Bhagavad Gita 2.40, Krishna says, नेहाभिक्रमनशोऽस्ति प्रत्यवायो न विद्यते स्वल्पम् अपि अस्य धर्मस्य त्रायते महतो भयात्. In this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution, and a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. Devotional
Thank you, thank you, Mataji. So we were on the first one, glories of the Bhakti, see on the screen. So this is what is being explained here. No fall down. This is the ultimate path. No loss of bhakti. Success is guaranteed. You can in this life do bhakti for some time. Then you can continue in the next life. There is no cause for this, and it gives you good quality. So this part where Mataji is reading, this is what we saw au résumé de les points saillants de la gloire de Bhakti. Quels sont les points saillants? Anyone else? We finish with the last few chapters, not a paragraph. Any volunteer?
Yes, Prabhu, I read.
Yes. Yes.
The devotional service is so pure and perfect that once having begun, one is forcibly dragged to ultimate success. Sometimes a person will give up his ordinary material engagements and out of sentiment take shelter of the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, and thus begin the preliminary execution of devotional service. Even if such an immature devotee falls down, there is no loss on his part. On the other hand, what is the gain of one who executes the prescribed duties according to his varna and ashram, but does not take to devotional service? Although a fallen devotee may take his next birth in a low family, his devotional service will nonetheless resume from where it left off. Devotional service is a hetuki, apratihata. It is not the effect of any mundane cause, nor can it be terminated by any mundane cause or permanently curtailed by any material interruption. Therefore, a devotee should be confident about his engagement and should not be very interested in the activities of the karmis, jnanis, and the yogis. There are certainly many good qualities among fruity actors, philosophical speculators, and mystic yogis, but all good qualities automatically develop in the character of a devotee. No extraneous endeavor is needed. As confirmed by Srimad Bhagavatam 5.18.12, all the good qualities of the demigods manifest progressively in one who has developed pure devotional service. Because the devotee is not interested in any material activity, he does not become materially contaminated. He is immediately situated on the platform of transcendental life. However, one who engages in mundane activity, be he a so-called Jnani Yogi Karmi, philanthropist, nationalist, or whatever, cannot attain the highest stage of Mahatma. He remains a Duratma, or cripple-minded person. According to Bhagavad Gita 9.13, Mahatmanastu mam partha devim prakritimashritah bhajanti ananya manasu gyadva bhutadim avyayam. O son of Pritha, those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. Since all the devotees of the Lord are under the protection of His supreme potency, they should not deviate from the path of devotional service and take to the path of karmi, jnani, or yogi. This is called utsahan, nischaya, dhairya, tattat karma pravartanat, enthusiastically executing the regulative activities of devotional service with patience and confidence. In this way, one can advance in devotional service without hindrance. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. So you have also tat karma pravartana. So again, you have the answer here. Whenever you will answer your question, please add this part also at the back. So you will find it. Any comment, any question based on this text? So let's see now text 4. You follow on the screen. We'll do a resume, then we will come to the text. So now, whenever you come into the society, how we should behave within the community of society. Rupa Goswami will explain to you, will explain to us that you will see devotees will offer you gifts. And also, you will have to accept the gift and offering the gift also. This is concerning gift. Number 3, you will have to, whenever you are practicing devotional service, doubt, difficulties will come. You will have to reveal your mind. Now, you have to reveal your mind with somebody you have confidence. N'a pas des affaires qui vont avec vous, avec un dimoun qui dit pour faire la tante mariage, il faut dire tout. No. You have to reveal, very important, sir. Very important. You have to have a mentor in your spiritual progress. A mentor, that's somebody you can reveal your mind. Reveal your mind, that is, reveal confidence. Prabhu m'a pigé telle difficulté. Est-ce qu'il est capable de moi une idée? Une fois, moi, tu peux faire cours au pays d'Afrique. Pays d'Afrique, alors Côte d'Ivoire, Ghana, China, Côte d'Ivoire, Ghana surtout. So there they have got lot of problems. So many times I got phone call from them. You must wish in Mauritius we have not so big problem. I can tell you, we are in a but devotees is dans coton. Oh, moi, je dis ça. Hein? But devotees dans coton, encore bon là, Maurice. Mais extérieur difficilement. L'Afrique difficile. So they phone, revealing their mind in confidence. Then inquiring confidentially, eating or accepting prasad, that is very important. You accept devotee at your place. Sannyasi who are visiting in Mauritius, it is our grihasta. We have the function of a grihasta is to offer prasadam to them. Very important this. Grihasta must offer prasadam. They must make people invite them. Yes, so eating or accepting prasad, feeding, offering prasad. So one is concerned with gift, number one. Number two is inquiring in confidence, two things. And number three is about prasadam. Now you will have gunyam apyati prishchati, meaning we should reveal our mind in confidence. Now, a Mataji should talk with a Mataji. It's better that a Mataji talks with a Mataji. A Prabhu will talk with a Prabhu. Important. To devotees, one's confidential relationship, realization in Bhakti. Sometimes I've seen devotees within their community of same Guru Maharaj, they talk. They have some dream about their Guru Maharaj. They share. And inquiring and hearing their confidential realization. Confidential. Only like-minded people, Mataji, Prabhu, always frequent Banjimum, like-minded. Pas autre Banjimum qui vous fait des autres. An experienced devotee explains and an inexperienced devotee listens. This is what is meant by Punyam Akyati Prishchati. I think you got a question. Yes. Je viens comme ça. Punyam Akyati Prishchati, ça veut dire revealing one's mind in confidence. Et deuxièmement, an experienced devotee explains to the inexperienced devotee. What does it explain? Our bhakti, comment préparer ghee lait, comment faire arti, comment frapper une carte. This is being explained. Gunyam akyati pristati. Okay. Then you have got jatati prati grinati. Jatati prati grinati. Qu'est-ce que ça veut dire? Essayer d'aider à quelqu'un dans la vie. Alors, il y a plusieurs façons d'aider à quelqu'un et dans le nectar d'instruction, Srila Prabhupada nous explique comment aider. Il donne l'exemple de distributing the holy name and one's willingness to receive this transcendental gift. C'est l'amour pour quelqu'un de faire distribution de holy name, que ce soit peut-être par les livres. Il sort. Hein? Je suis en train de regarder la conférence en Inde actuellement. C'est sur le groupe. C'est intéressant de voir comment les dévots sont en train de partager, aller faire des efforts. Hein? Willingness to distribute books. So this is an example of Jatati Prati grinati. Datati, prati, grinati. OK. Rupa Goswami nous explique comment, si vous avez l'argent dans la vie, comment utiliser cette somme d'argent de sorte que vous n'allez pas recevoir des karmas en retour. Hein, il parlait ici de mauvais karma. Il faut savoir comment servir l'argent. Alors, normalement, vous gardez 25% pour vous en cas de maladie, l'enfant qui est malade, pour les études. Hein, pour les études. 25% pour les familles, peut-être relatifs, votre maman, votre grand-père, et sous votre responsabilité. Ça aussi, il faut faire provision. Et 50%. 50% après que vous avez retiré votre bill, personal bill, car, voiture, l'essence, l'électricité, de l'eau, ce qui en reste de la cuisine, hein, tout ce qui en reste, alors il faut faire quoi? Service, il faut retirer, pour vous le reste, vous allez servir pour la conscience de Krishna. Un grihashta, il y a des festivals qui arrivent, vous avez à acheter, contribuer pour l'épanouissement de Krishna. 50e anniversaire de Srila Prabhupada, prenez 50 livres à les distribuer. Par exemple, vous devez sponsoriser. Donc, voilà comment Srila Rupa Goswami nous explique le datati principle en termes d'argent. Vous aurez une question sur le numéro 2. Hein. Vous aurez une question là-dessus. Yes. Tout à l'heure, we have seen that the living exchangers gift, you have seen how you should inquire in confidence. Tout à l'heure, voilà, au commencement. Et puis, vous avez parlé sur Prashad. Ces 6 principes, il ne faut pas jamais partager avec ces personnes. Là. Avoiding 6 loving exchanges. Avec des personnes, bien, par exemple, le premier Mayavadi, il compare, Srila Prabhupada compare le Mayavadi avec des serpents. Les serpents, normalement, on donne du lait pour nourrir et parfois des bananes. Mais en retour, ces serpents vont produire poison et vont être nocifs à nous. De la même façon, les Mayavades qui ne croient pas dans le Seigneur en tant que forme, hein, en forme, ils disent que cette création, c'est une illusion, et tout ce qui est dedans, c'est illusion. Le Seigneur lui-même est illusion créée par notre mental. Hein. Donc, il ne faut jamais donner les Écritures saintes à l'expliquer à ces gens parce que eux, ils vont retourner le Bhagavad Gita, ils vont prendre l'enseignement et il va vous donner une explication impersonnelle. Il ne faut jamais aussi éviter les gyani, karmi et gross sense enjoyers, oppose theistic movement to educate people in God. Mais vous allez me dire, mais ces personnes n'ont pas le droit d'avoir prashad. Oui, il faut donner le prashad avec ces personnes. Mais ici, on est en train d'expliquer que chez la Prabhupada, il faut, si ils viennent dans notre société, ils commencent à discuter avec nous notre philosophie, là, vous avez le droit d'éviter ces personnes. Si vous allez, par exemple, vous êtes en train de faire le book distribution, J'en ai eu l'expérience. Aller sur le bas. Là, on commence une discussion qui ne terminera jamais. Donc, pour éviter toute discussion 1 heure temps, 2 heures temps qui ne vont pas accepter la philosophie, c'est préférable d'éviter. Aussi, avoid intermingling trop de contacts avec les gens qui ne sont pas des dévots, sharing grief, revealing the mind, taking advice from them, or invitations from them, or dining with them. This is not recommended. Do not describe the glories, not to describe the glories of the holy name to a faceless person. So why to describe the faceless person? He's faceless. So why would you tell him, chant the Maha Mantra and you will get such and such? So you must avoid this. So how to revive our love for Krishna? We have there's chant there. You have to correct chant. Chant. Okay, I will correct later. Chant and hear about Krishna. So continue to chant, listen to the classes, associate with devotees. Now you have to pick and choose devotees also. Observe the regulative principle, follow the acharya, follow the instruction of the spiritual master. And the supreme dharma, when the religious system develops and turns into a love of God, that is true religion. Supreme dharma is developed, love for Krishna, unmotivated, uninterrupted, completely satisfying to the self. So this is what we are going to see in text. The next text. Okay. So, text 4. 5. Allez-y. Qui peut lire maintenant? I see Vibhu Chaitanya Prabhu. Prabhu Vibhu? Anyone else? Prabhu Vibhu? Yes? Yes, Prabhuji. Dandava Pranam. Vous avez un problème là au téléphone, mon corps.
Oui.
Allez, moi, t'as un petit peu là. Mets le micro là près ou bien approche ou près. Text 4. Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu. C'est pas vite à nous du tout.
Yes. Gadati Pratiknati Yam Bhagyate Pachati Jayati Jaiva Sadvidam Viti Lakshana. Translation. Offering peace, charity, accepting charitable gifts, revealing one's mind in confidence, inquiring confidentially, accepting prasad and offering prasad for the six symptoms of love shared by one devotee and another. In this verse, Srila Rupa Goswami explains how to perform devotional activities in the association of other devotees. There are six kinds of activities. First, giving charity to the devotees. Second, accepting from the devotees whatever they exhibit in return. Third, opening one's mind to the devotees. Fourth, inquiring from them about the confidential service of the Lord. Fifth, honoring prasad or spiritual given by the devotees. And sixth, feeding the devotees with prasad. An experienced devotee explained that an inexperienced devotee learns from him. This is Bhakti, Prichati. When a devotee distributes prasad, silence of refer to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In order to maintain our spirit of devotional service, we must accept this prasad as the Lord's grace received through the pure devotees. We should also invite pure devotees to our home, offer them prasad, and be prepared to please them in all respects. This is called Bhakti Vijay.
Merci, Prabhu. Merci, Prabhu. So this is on the screen. You will have a question on this. So meaning of gunyam, you will have for this gunyam pati paschati. C'est allé alors. Hein? C'est allé aux oreilles. Ok, ok. Allez. Mataji Maya Jairam, Mataji. Second paragraph.
Even in ordinary social activities, the six types of dealings between two loving friends are absolutely necessary. For instance, when one businessman wishes to contact another businessman, he arranges a feast in a hotel and over the feast openly expresses what he wishes to do. He then inquires from his business friend how he should act, and sometimes presents are exchanged. Thus, whenever there is a dealing of pretty or love in intimate dealings, these six activities are executed. In the previous verse, Srila Rupa Goswami advised that one should renounce worldly association and keep company with the devotees. Sangha Tyagat Sato Vriti. The International Society for Krishna Consciousness has been established to facilitate these six kinds of loving exchanges between devotees. This society was started single-handedly, but because people are coming forward and dealing with a give and take policy, the society is now expanding all over the world. We are glad that people are donating very liberally to the development of the society's activities, and people are also eagerly accepting whatever humble contribution we are giving them in the shape of books and magazines dealing strictly with the subject matter of Krishna consciousness. We sometimes hold Hare Krishna festivals and invite life members and friends to participate in the feasting by accepting prasad. Although most of our members come from the higher ranks of society, they nonetheless come and take whatever little prasad we are able to offer them. Sometimes the members and supporters inquire very confidentially about the methods of performing devotional service, and we try to explain this. In this way, our society is successfully spreading all over the world, and the intelligentsia of all countries is gradually appreciating our Krishna conscious activities. The life of the Krishna conscious society is nourished by these six types of loving exchange among the members. Therefore, people must be given the chance to associate with the devotees of ISKCON, because simply by reciprocating in the six ways mentioned above, an ordinary man can fully revive his dormant Krishna consciousness. In Bhagavad Gita 2.62, it is stated, Sangat Sanjayate Kamaha. One desires and ambitions develop according to the company one keeps. It is often said that a man is known by his company, and if an ordinary man associates with devotees, he will certainly develop his dormant Krishna consciousness. The understanding of Krishna consciousness is innate in every living entity, and it is already developed to some extent when the living entity takes a human body. It is said in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya 22.107. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya Kabhu Naya Shravanadi Shubha Chite Karaye Udaya. Pure love for Krishna is eternally established in the hearts of living entities. It is not something to be gained from another source. When the heart is purified by hearing and chanting, the living entity naturally awakens. Since Krishna consciousness is inherent in every living entity, everyone should be given a chance to hear about Krishna. Simply by hearing and chanting Shravanam Kirtanam, one's heart is directly purified and one's original Krishna consciousness is immediately awakened. Krishna consciousness is not artificially imposed upon the heart. It is already there. When one chants the holy name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the heart is cleansed of all mundane contamination. In the first stanza of Sri Sri Shiktashtaka, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Chetodarpanamarjanam bhava mahadavagni nirvapanam Shreya karvaya chandrika vitaranam vidya vadu jivanam Anandam bhudi vardhanam pratipadam purna tasvadanam sarvatmastapanam param vijayati Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. All glories to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life, of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is a prime benediction for humanity at large, because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is a life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. Not only is the chanter of the Maha Mantra purified, but the heart of anyone who happens to hear the transcendental vibration of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, is also cleansed. Even the souls embodied in lower animals, insects, trees, and other species of life also become purified and prepared to become fully Krishna conscious simply by hearing the transcendental vibration. This was explained by Haridas Thakur when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inquired from him how living entities lower than human beings can be delivered from material bondage. Haridas Thakur says the chanting of the holy names is so powerful that even if one chants in the remotest parts of the jungle, the trees and animals will advance in Krishna consciousness simply by hearing the vibration. This was actually proved by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself when he passed through the forest of Charikhanda. At that time, the tigers, snakes, deer, and all other animals abandoned their natural animosity and began chanting and dancing in Sankirtan. Of course, we cannot imitate the activities of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but we should follow in his footsteps. We are not powerful enough to enchant the lower animals, such as tigers, snakes, cats, and dogs, or entice them to dance. But by chanting the holy names of the Lord, we can actually convert many people throughout the world to Krishna consciousness. Contributing or distributing the holy name of the Lord is a sublime example of contributing or giving charity, the Dadati principle. By the same token, one must also follow the Pratigrihati principle and be willing and ready to receive the transcendental gift. One should inquire about the Krishna consciousness movement and open his mind in order to understand the situation of this material world. Thus, the Guhyam Akhyati Chati principles can be served.
Merci, Mataji. So look on your screen. Gunyam Apyati Chati, meaning revealing one's mind in confidence. And secondly, an experienced devotee explains to an inexperienced devotee. This is the Datati principle, that is offering. You can contribute in charity. And Apyati, the Chati principle, that is you inquire in confidence. Next one, who can read? Next paragraph.
Yes, Prabhu, can I?
Hare. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. The members of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness invite the society's members and supporters to dine with them when the Holy Love feast in all their branches every Sunday. Many interested people come to honor Prasada, and whenever possible, they invite members of the society to their homes and feed them spontaneously with Prasada. In this way, both the members of the society and the general public are benefited. People should give up the company of so-called yogis, jnanis, karmis, and philanthropists because the association can benefit no one. If one really wants to attain the goal of human life, he should associate with devotees of the Krishna consciousness movement because it is the only movement that teaches one how to develop love of God. Religion is a special function of human society. Eh? I can continue?
Yes, somebody whose mic is, put off your mic, Mataji Prabhu. I don't know who is. Continue, Prabhu.
Yes, religion is a special function of human society, and it contributes the distinction between human society and animal society. Animal society has no church, most religious system in all parts of the world. However downtrodden human society may be, there is some system of religion. Even tribal aborigines in the jungles also have a system of religion. When a religious system develops and turns into love of God, it is successful. As stated in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.6, Saive Pumsam Parudharmo Yato Bhaktir Abhyukshaje Ahetuki Apratihata Yayatma Suprasit Dati. The supreme occupation, dharma, for all humanity is that by which man can attain the loving devotional service into this, the transcendent Lord. Such devotional service must be unmotivated and uninterrupted in order to completely satisfy the self. In the members of human society actually want peace, if the members of human society actually want peace of mind, tranquility, and friendly relations between men and nations, they must follow the Krishna conscious system of religion, by which they can develop their dormant love for Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As soon as people do so, their minds will immediately be filled with peace and tranquility. In this regard, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur wants all devotees engaged in broadcasting the Krishna consciousness movement not to speak to the impersonalists, Mayavadis who are always determined to oppose such faith movements. The world is full of Mayavadis and atheists, and the political parties of the world take advantage of Mayavada and other aesthetic philosophers to promote materialism. Sometimes they can hack a strong party to oppose the Krishna consciousness movement. The Mayavadis and other atheists do not want the Krishna consciousness movement to develop because it educates people in God consciousness. Such is the policy of the atheist. There is no benefit in feeding a snake milk and banana because the snake will never be satisfied. On the contrary, by taking milk and bananas, the snake simply becomes more poisonous. Kevalam visa vardhanam. If a snake is given milk to drink, its poison simply increases. For a similar reason, we should not disclose our mind to the Sabit Mayavadis and Karmis. Such disclosures will never help. It is best to avoid association with them completely and never ask them about anything confidential because they cannot give good advice. Nor should we extend invitations to Mayavadis and atheists, nor accept their invitations. For by such imitate intermingling, we may become affected by the atheistic mentality. Sangat Sanjayate Kama. It is the negative injection of this verse that we should refrain from giving anything to or accepting anything from the Mayavadis and atheists. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has also warned, Visa Vira Ana Kaide Dusta Hayamana. By eating food prepared by worldly people, one's mind becomes weakened. Unless one is very advanced, he is unable to utilize everyone's contribution to further the Krishna consciousness movement. Therefore, on principle, one should not accept charity from the Mayavadis or atheists. Indeed, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has forbidden devotees to associate even with ordinary men who are too addicted to material sense gratification. The conclusion is that we should always keep company with devotees, observe the regulative devotional principles, follow in the footsteps of the acharyas, and in full obedience carry out the orders of the spiritual master. In this way, we shall be able to develop our devotional service and dormant Krishna consciousness. The devotee who is neither a neophyte nor a Mahabhagavata, a greatly advanced devotee, but is within the middle state of devotional service, is expected to love the Supreme Personality of Godhead, make friends with the devotees, show favor to the ignorant, and reject the jealous and demoniac. In this verse, there is a brief mention of the process of making loving transactions with the Supreme Personality of Godhead and making friends with the devotees. According to the Dadati principle, an advanced devotee is supposed to spend at least 50% of his income on the service of the Lord and his devotees. Srila Rupa Goswami has set such an example in his life. When he decided to retire, he distributed 50% of his life's earning to Krishna service and 25% to his relatives and kept 25% for personal emergencies. This example should be followed by all devotees. Whatever one's income, 50% should be spent on behalf of Krishna and his devotees, and this will fulfill the demands of the Dati. In the next verse, Srila Rupa Goswami informs us what kind of Vaishnava should be selected as a friend and how Vaishnava should be served. Thank you, Guru.
Thank you. So on this text 4, you will have two questions. You will have question Gunyam Apyati Prischati. So you will have one question based on this. And secondly, you have the Datati principle. The Datati principle, you will have a question based on. So we have come on the end of these two verses. Any correction, any comments, any query? No one? I know it's not easy after a Sunday feast, a Sunday program, that Sunday afternoon to come and follow Bhakti Shastri. But this is sacrifice. You have to do it. You have to do it. So if there are no comment, no anything, we meet tomorrow. Vanchakalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindur evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaura Premanande Hari Hari
Hari
Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare